welcome back to Question Mark Rise of the Punctuation, sequel to the smash hit blockbuster Revenge of the Die Critics. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do at this big scary spike drop, we're going to gleefully spin down it like there's no tomorrow. Top spin is the best weapon in this game. If it worked, it's got a cool sound effect, it uses weapon energy only on contact, every enemy weak to it dies in a single hit. Great. Here's the problem? Yeah, that's right, some enemies are immune to this thing, making you take damage straight away if you try to use it on them. It's not obvious either, like, it's not just some big enemies that you have no business throwing yourself at and foolishly hoping you'll come out unscathed. There's a handful of small enemies that Topspin is completely ineffective against too. Oh, look, bottomless pits with these starfield projectors. It's like a nightmare come true. And now we get to talk about the programming oversights of Topspin. So you know how Mega Man has invincibility frames whenever he gets hit? Yeah, so for every frame that you make contact with an enemy while you're spinning, the game removes a unit of weapon energy from your bar. You get the picture. If you just got hit and try to use Topspin again on the enemy that's not dead because it's invulnerable to Topspin, you only need to be overlapping half a second with that enemy to lose your entire weapon store. Makes the weapon feel like it's possessed, and all this makes Topspin a nightmare for new players. And remember, every player is, or once was, a new player. I'll talk a little more about Topspin later, but for now, this is Doc Robot, Mr. Question Mark himself. And this fight goes a little too quickly for me to say anything, but he'll be back. I just want to point out that this leaf shield deflects all projectiles, except until the moment he throws it at you, and then it doesn't do anything. And that maneuver is what made me so proud of this run. So proud and so nervous that everything after this is a complete disaster. Ow. Please pretend that you didn't see any of this. Please pretend that is what happened for all three of those hammer joes. And now it's time for Magnum Missile Part 2. I'd fail to see how this is any more difficult than last time. I guess you can't use Rush Jet to fly over everything because of those spikes above your head. But, I mean, as if I was ever gonna pass up an opportunity to use Magnum Missile, right? You could also use Topspin back there, it's pretty effective. But the problem is, using Topspin successfully shunts you backwards by quite a distance, which is especially dangerous over, say, bottomless pits, which, haha, there are also plenty of in that section back there. And the cherry on Topspin? Sorry, I had to. If you try to use it on bosses, you're not avoiding damage. No, you are getting hit, unless you're mindful enough to deal it out as your finishing blow, which, I don't know, is it just me? It makes it barely usable as a weakness. So, I hate Shadow Blade. I make no secret of hating Shadow Blade. You should be using Shadow Blade in this fight. Its boomerang action doesn't actually bounce off of Heatman, making it perfect for hitting him on the rebound. And I would like to point out that in Mega Man 2, Heatman was so resistant to Metal Blade that he took even less damage from it than your Mega Buster. And so he returns in this game, only to be extra weak to an inferior version of Metal Blade. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. So we're gonna need the help of Rush again to get up here. This ladder from before seems to have disappeared. And we're gonna switch to Shadow Blade for a few upcoming things. Is it just me, or does this ladder seem to have stretched a little from last time? It must be my imagination. So these guys are just as useless as ever. Actually, their one attack is to send out a spread of 8 electrical spark things, like Sparkman does in his fight. And so I want to talk a little bit about the Doc Robot's Shadow Blade, one of which we're about to see coming up. Shadow Blade, Doc Robots. So there's 8 of them, one for each of the bosses from Mega Man 2. That's these guys here that are floating down ominously, slowly from the top. So Doc Robot downloads each of their data, and just like Metal Man doesn't seem to want to really react until you do, or he just gets bored. That is sort of what he does in Mega Man 2 as well. Yeah, so before I get too far anywhere, I want to point out, in no Mega Man game are you supposed to be able to jump out of a slide like that from a narrow passageway, and oh, here we have nice, terrifying spike drop. Consider our stage spiced up. So yeah, you're not supposed to be able to jump out of a narrow gap like that, but in Mega Man 3, something weird about the way the slide's programmed. If you press your input at the right time, you can. So Doc Robot is a transliteration of the Japanese portmanteau for the word skull, dokuro, and robot, roboto. That's a loan word. You could probably tell. And I apologize, Japanese is not a language that I'm any real authority on. I'm just going by what I know. So you put them together, you get Doku Roboto, Doc Robot. You can probably hear the family resemblance. And this is Quickman. In Mega Man 2, he was one of the most notoriously hard bosses in the game. In Mega Man 3, he is one of the worst fights in the entire series. I just missed with Gemini Laser, which is a fatal mistake. Luckily, I'm getting hit by the boomerangs and not Quickman himself, who they deal a lot less damage. But yeah, if you miss, you're completely defenseless. You cannot press pause. You cannot fire another laser. You just have to frantically dodge around in slow motion, which messes with your timing and all that. He has no tells, again, for any of his attacks. And his other weakness, Search Snake, is literally just as effective. With all the time he spends on the ground and walls, you're basically just not gonna hit him ever. And this fight is bonkers. So, Doc Robot is actually very similar to the case of Wario and Waluigi from the Mario series. Now, and if you might as well be using Magna Missile here, it's really good. Much as I love Magna Missile, I'm actually going to not, because I feel like dodging and shooting awesomely is more entertaining. Yeah, so Wario, Waluigi, they're sort of the evil anti-hero, mischief-making versions, counterparts of Mario and Luigi, our heroes. I'm sort of tickled that the hole opened up by Breakman is still here, and there's nothing over there. I wish there was a secret room or something. The word that is being used is warui, which, from what I understand, means bad. You know, not good, I guess. And so you mash up Warui with Mario, you get Wario. Mash up Warui with Luigi, you get Waluigi, which actually means that there's there's quite a bit of overlap for a pretty excellent pun there. That does not translate well at all to other languages. When I was younger, I had no idea where Waluigi came from. Which is strange too, right? Because Wario ends up being a really serendipitously good translation in English. You flip Mario's M upside down, you get a W, and war is generally bad. Complete coincidence. What they're doing with Luigi is they're flipping the L upside down, which gives you the Greek letter gamma. This is us fighting Doc Flash over here. His approach is a little bit scary. I still don't know how to not get hit while jumping over him. It is possible. I've seen video evidence, but I've never been able to do it myself. And we're switching to Rush Marine for two reasons. One, I want to give it a little bit of screen time, and two, a little bit of sharpshooting. Boom! Yes, okay. Well, bye Rush Marine, it was nice knowing you. Here's some not sharpshooting. Shadow Blade! Shadow Blade! Don't you dare fail me now, Shadow Blade. So we're just about ready to close in on Doc Bubble Man. We can tell from the spikes over here, and we can tell even more from the water that we're entering. There was water earlier, but now we're back in it, I guess. And here's the part where if you know, that one frame input that you have, if you use it to keep jumping, you will smash your head into the spikes and die. Very undignified death there. This is actually, visually, almost the exact same fight as Bubble Man from Mega Man 2. The projectiles and the bubbles and the particles, they behave a little bit differently than they did. They're a little harder to dodge. They're a little wonkier, but yeah. We've got one stage left. We'll go back to Needleman next time. See you then.